All right, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, doing the Harmless Dave podcast and doing it in real time for real people in real time, just like you and just like me. It's just not the same, right? Because there's no pointing going on. Um, hey, I wanted to talk a little bit about Eddie Van Halen. Before I get going, though, I'm having some issues uploading videos this morning. So I'm going to try the podcast, see if that'll upload. If it does, you'll get, both the video I did. I did this video about Ace Frehley and the Kiss stuff that's going on out there, the Kiss feud. But I want to talk about Eddie Van Halen because there are a couple of videos that are now out there on YouTube, I think for the most part, talking about how Eddie was not a nice guy, and it's probably the reason he's not getting a tribute, which to me is insane. All right. It's just insane at this point. There are a lot of people, though, who have worked with Eddie Van Halen. Obviously, there are a couple of women who were married to Eddie Van Halen, Valerie Bertinelli being, the chief spokesperson really after Ed passed away. And then there's Wolfie, right? You would think that maybe Wolfie would stick up for his dad a little bit more and try to get a tribute going, but has basically said that, Van Halen as a brand is so dysfunctional that there's really no reason for him to get involved in that, which is bizarre because between himself and Alex, you would think they would be more in control of this, and he would just go to his uncle and say, look, we need to do something. And the fact that there hasn't been any kind of tribute to Ed as time just keeps on slipping into the future, sorry, had to use the Steve Miller thing there, it makes it less and less likely that anything is going to happen in the future. And I complained about this for a few months. I heard Eddie Trunk complaining about this. Now I'm not hearing too many people talk about it. Jeff Beck is getting a tribute, which he deserves a tribute, absolutely. But it's just completely mind-blowing that there isn't any kind of a tribute to Eddie Van Halen. I mean, David Lee Roth, when he puts out a single, he's got this moniker on the thumbnail that says Roth Lives, as if maybe people got confused when Eddie passed away and maybe they thought it was Dave, but no, it was Ed. And it happened so suddenly and so privately, and a lot of people were caught off guard. And all I know is that it's just a strange thing. I mean, of all the people who've gotten tributes over the years, you would think that this would be a no-brainer. And as time goes by, it's going to be less and less plausible that this will actually occur. Now, why do I think it's so important? Well, I mean, here's a guy who inspired so many other people to play guitar. And let's not talk about his personality. Let's not talk about any of the personal demons that he may have been battling along the way. That isn't what this should be about. It should be about, is he talented? Did he do something that most other people don't do when it comes to guitar playing? Did he? Because I think he did. It's pretty clear that he did, and it's bizarre that people don't think very much of it at this stage. I know the rock media now is taking a hard look at Wolfgang Van Halen as the heir to his father's guitar playing. Wolf is a great guitar player. In fact, he's probably unheralded in some ways, although there are some high expectations that people might have. Hey, he learned from the best. Hey, he is essentially the next generation of Van Halen. He's even got the WVH logo, and a lot of people maybe are not offended by that, but a lot of people are like, okay, this is kind of a ripoff of Van Halen and their logo to some degree. But if anybody deserves to do it or anybody could do it, it's got to be Wolfgang. And so a lot of people give him a pass on some of this stuff. But again, this has little to do with honoring his father the right way. Basically, he did this appearance at the Foo Fighters tribute to Taylor Hawkins. That's what he did. And that was enough for him. But a lot of people who weren't into the Foo Fighters, who also probably recognized it was a Taylor Hawkins tribute, were maybe a little bit dumbfounded by that. Like, this still isn't a tribute to your dad. All the people needed to be there. You had to have the original band there. Everybody is still alive. You have Dave and Sammy and Michael and Alex and yourself, and that would have been enough. Everybody said you can put Van Halen on the field, move Wolf to guitar, bring Michael back on bass, and you've got the world's greatest tribute concert ever. And it's mind-blowing. Again, I keep saying mind-blowing. I just don't understand why this hasn't happened. Yeah, there was something in the works, and why they needed Jason Newstead to play bass is just beyond me. None of it makes sense. Maybe that's why Michael Anthony, seeing that Sammy is about to maybe call it a career, is now recruiting Jeff Scott Soto, who can sing all of the Van Halen material, for a new Van Halen-ish band, which I think is a good thing. I think it's the right thing to do. This is great music. It's a great legacy. Even Dave is still attempting to sing out there in Vegas. I don't know if he'll do it again. But nobody's really paying tribute to Eddie Van Halen. Whether you like the guy or not, he deserves a tribute. Put some closure on it for his fans and for everybody involved with this. Everybody who worked with Ed. And who knows, maybe some people had some good experiences hanging out with Eddie Van Halen. I can't see how it's all bad. And this is the weirdest thing. You know, I thought, hey, this will happen soon. And then it didn't happen. And I figured, okay, it's going to happen. And now there's no talk of it. So in any event, yeah, Jeff Beck deserves a tribute. Taylor Hawkins, I guess, deserved a tribute. I didn't understand all of the accolades. He was a nice man. And apparently Ed was not. So there you go. They both struggled apparently with substance abuse, but one guy was pleasant and the other guy apparently wasn't. So that's all this boils down to. Possibly, I would still say Ed's the more talented musician. Taylor Hawkins, good musician. But again, this is kind of a one-of-a-kind guitarist. So that's my take on this. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you soon.